I've wanted to be a conductor since I was 8 years old. I actually went to a concert with my third grade class in Norfolk, Virginia, my hometown. At the time, it was called the Norfolk Symphony Orchestra, and I had never heard an orchestra before. And I saw this assembly of men and women sitting in this, in this auditorium, and then this man comes out, and he starts to wave his arms, and the orchestra stands up, and they play the national anthem, which I, of course, had heard by then already 100 times in my life, but never in the voice of the orchestra. And at that moment, I knew I was in this different world, and I knew also at that moment that this is what I wanted to do with my life. And the other significant thing about it is that I was a young kid and born to a single mother on welfare in a housing project. And all of a sudden, all of my critical life choices now are made for me by default. Who I hang out with, what I do with my spare time, where am I when there's no adult supervision. I mean, I'm practicing, I'm in the practice room, I'm hanging out with people who also love music. Will I dream of going to college? Well, of course I will. And so I come at all of my music making sort of with that background. Even when I'm doing in a concert hall in the evening doing the Beethoven Symphony for grown-ups, I still am aware of the fact that it can be life-altering and life-affirming. And that's what I want our role to be as artists. So now you translate that to me in my adult conducting career. Here I am all these many years later, and I still love doing concerts for children. I love getting people to fall in love with music. I remember the night I filled in for someone, a conductor, at the last minute. And they announced my name from backstage, said I was going to be conducting this concert. I walk out on stage, and sure enough, there's two little black boys sitting in the front row. And this was an evening grown-up concert. They were about to hear Sibelius 5. I mean, that was going to be their first concert experience. But I remember the look in their face when they saw me. We didn't exchange words. I maybe even winked at them when I went out. But I looked down, and they looked up, and the look on their face said, "Oh my goodness, he looks just like us." And so, to the extent that a person who looks like me will see me and decide, aha, that too is a possibility for my life, then I'm excited about that dynamic of the equation. I mean, just as I am when I get on a plane with my daughter and there's a female pilot. You know, I want to make sure that my daughters realize, yes, you too can do that. The whole world is open to you. My concerts are really about life and not about music. I could care less if a kid walks out of the hall and goes home and says, Mommy, guess what? The key of E flat major has 3 flats in it. What is that going to do to change their life? I want them to walk away thinking, you know, I had no idea that symphonic music was about the things that I struggle with, doing my homework or not being able to ride a bicycle without training wheels. I mean, those are real issues in a kid's life. And music was built for us to come to grasp with the real issues in our lives. As Duke Ellington said, there's only 2 kinds of music, good music and bad music. So when a kid believes that you are creating categories and therefore a hierarchy of music based on its genre, that's when they start to get defensive because they own that music that they're listening to. All I'm saying to them is there are things in that music that you listen to that we've been doing forever. Listen, Beethoven knew what a groove was. Haydn knew what a groove was. If you listen to the last movement of Beethoven's 7th Symphony and the cellos and the basses going tom, tom, tom like a bass player. Now, I wouldn't be standing on stage dancing to that, but I'm telling you that Beethoven created that just the same reason that a person would have a bass player do that is to just lay it down so the rest of the orchestra could play. He wouldn't have called it groove, but he would have called it something that felt like groove. They're shocked to know that on my iPod currently is Mahler 7, Chris Rice, Willie Nelson, a couple tunes that I just heard. Lyle Lovett, who I just got turned on to very recently, Katie Lang, every James Taylor song, ever recorded is on my iPod. And my point is simply this. I never differentiate with kids about music. And what I mean by that is I never talk down to them about the music that they listen to, because chances are I listen to it too.